There's a lot of announcements in your bulletin, so I commend them to you. Lots going on, as always. And now a special speaker, Steve Hackbarth, and the Hackbarth family, come on up. The Hackbarth family have been attending faithfully, virtually, watching church online since before COVID. And we have a whole other part of our congregation, so we asked him to come and tell us a little bit about what that's like as part of his stewardship talk. So thank you so much. This is Steve Hackbarth and his family's over there, and welcome everybody.
Good morning. Like Reverend Allison said, my name is Steve Hackbarth. My wife is Jody. My stepson is Brian. My daughter is Abby. Most of you don't know me or my family. Most of you have no idea that we've been attending services regularly for the last 2.5 years. That's right, 2.5 years ago, Jody and Abby came to church service. They met Father Matt, and at that point, Pam, and then they attended coffee hour. I, for whatever reason, couldn't attend. They came home excited and looking forward to returning the following week. I must tell you, I was a little apprehensive coming this morning. It was the following week, 2.5 years ago, that Grace Church shut its doors because of COVID. Our fault, or just our luck, I'm not sure. My wife had belonged to another local parish and was raised in that faith. Our children both were raised attending church at that parish. I was raised going to Sunday school in a Baptist church in Poughkeepsie. Full disclosure, I've never considered myself a particularly religious person, but I've always enjoyed going to church. I really didn't attend church from my early teen years until I started going to church services with Jody. When our kids were young, we attended church regularly. Myself, once I overcame the inertia of getting there, I always left church with a feeling of calm and always glad I went. Jody took great comfort in her faith. Jody became conflicted with her parish after Brian's father and her divorced, but her faith remained constant. They would not recognize our relationship. We could not get married in that church, and asked her to denounce her relationship with Brian's father, something that, to her credit, she would not do. Why? Jody still considers Brian's father one of her closest friends. She would not contrive a reason for their split, other than they were better friends than spouses. A side note to this, we all have an excellent relationship to this day, and that's thanks to all of us. I was never allowed to take communion, nor was she, and out of respect, we never did. In addition, we have many close family members who are not accepted by that church because of their sexual orientation. We have always created an accepted, open, tolerant home for our kids, and that did not align with that belief. In the late winter of 2020, with Jody's confliction, the horror of COVID at the time, seeing the refrigerated morgue trucks in the city streets, all of the hate that seemed to be brought to us every day, the social injustice, we, as a family, all needed grounding. We needed to be reminded that love, acceptance, and compassion were still available and practiced. And thank God for Grace Church. Our close friends, Ron and Catherine Mostello, had discussed Grace with us at various times over the past 15 years that we've known them. They knew of Jody's faith and her discontent with her church. In 2020, seeking that grounding, we decided to see what they were talking about. Father Matt, and at the time Pam Freeman, then Reverend Allison, now Molly, and all of the Grace Church family gave us exactly what we were looking for. They gave it to us in ways we never could have imagined. We would gather together and attend service every Sunday from home. Our weekly attendance reinforced our hope that the world was not out of control and reinvigorated Jody's faith once more. We look forward to and attend it every week. I would like to personally thank Alex, who I just met at coffee hour before, for making the virtual services available to us. I'm sorry, but you have a deep impact in my life and my family's life, and I thank you. We look forward to the virtual services. We were there for the christenings, prayed for the names on the prayer lists, and watched the bat fly around the chapel. Jody and Catherine Mostello think that Ron and I get along so well because of our adolescent sense of humor. That day, I immediately sent a text to Ron, a signal of the bat signal, and an "I am Batman" gif. One of our most profound moments was at the interdenominational service at Innisfree 2 years ago. The Native people speaker, and I'm sorry I don't remember her name, described the female bald eagle as being the highest flying bird in the world, that it flies high to send prayers to heaven. Father Matt had described the location of the resident mama eagle and her hatchling's nest on the walk. As we walked alone, we kept looking for it. We were having a rough time finding the nest, and in a clearing, we spotted a speck so high in the sky it was hardly detectable. I've never seen anything so high in the sky before in my life. As we watched, the speck circled high overhead and slowly descended. Lower and lower it circled, becoming apparent what it was. It circled and descended until it reached its final destination, the nest in the tree that Father Matt had described. The female bald eagle, fresh from heaven with our prayers. Thank you, Father Matt, Reverend Allison, Pam, Alex, and Ron and Catherine Mostello, John and Lisa Lacey for letting us help out at the lunchbox, and the rest of the Grace Church family. We'll try to be better about coming in person, but as I told everyone at coffee hour, don't expect to see us at 8 o'clock. But if you don't see us here at 10 o'clock, there's a very good chance we're watching from home. And oh, by the way, this morning at the 8 o'clock service was the first time in our 28 years together, Jody and I took communion together. Thank you.
Thank you.